Hello, denizens of the internet. My gosh, it's been a long while since my last random brain fart. I miss you. Well, I've been wrestling with all sorts of Hackintosh builds, like this AMD Hackintosh build in open core. That's going to be another video. It's going to be very cool. Stay tuned. Well, Business Insider wrote that the EU is once again pushing Apple to standardize their charger port. Apple wants to keep the Lightning port because, well, it's crap. And they make billions of dollars from licensing and fixing broken Lightning ports on their phones. Apple argued that the new rules would stifle innovation. These are the moments when it's depressing to be an Apple fan when you hear stuff like that. I mean, they're not being honest. Really? Was that the best Apple could come up with? Stifle innovation. I mean, I think I stifled a laugh when I heard that one. No, I didn't. I laughed out loud. Well, we know that Apple is the can't innovate my ass company, don't we? Well, here's a quote from their statement to the EU. Apple stands for innovation and deeply cares about the customer experience. We believe regulation that forces conformity across the type of connector built into all smartphones stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, and would harm consumers in Europe and the economy as a whole. As cynical as this sounded, Apple did have a point. The European Union has been jonesing for a common charging port standard for a decade. For the longest time, it looked like it was going to be micro USB, which I've always hated because I needed glasses to see, which was the flat side of both the connector male end and the flat side of the female inserter part thingy. It never really seemed very elegant. If that standard had been set in stone, then what would have happened to USB-C? A much better standard than micro USB, and Apple does have a Lightning to USB-C adapter. Maybe if Apple hadn't fought off the standardization of micro USB, well, there might never have been USB-C. The thing is, USB-C does look like a standard that will be sticking around for the long haul, as it's fast, has no up and down, it's small, and transports both data and power. But let me take a quick break to tell you why I also think USB-C is a giant piece of crap. There's Thunderbolt and USB-C, same connector. Can you plug in a Thunderbolt device into a USB-C port? Sure. Will it work? No. How would the uninitiated know? USB-C can be configured so it can be both a charging input and not a charging input, like the original 2016 13-inch MacBook Pro. One side was charging, one wasn't. Like, who would know? And then there's Windows devices that are the same way. I mean, it's a mess already. Was there a marking on the receptacle? Was there a different connector color? No! Some will work with monitors and some won't. There are two Thunderbolt standards, Titan based on Titan Ridge and Alpine Ridge. There are 3 versions of Thunderbolt so far. 1, 2, and 3. Very, very clever. What a bloody mess. I'm sure glad USB-C is a standard. Oh, and did I also mention that if the backplate on your PC motherboard is not perfectly flat, your USB-C or Thunderbolt or whatever connector will just pop itself out, unlike the good old tough USB-A connector. Yes, thank you for this brilliant piece of engineering. I'm going to cover one more thing today, and that is the downturn in tablet sales. In 2019, the market shrunk by 1.5%, and the only winners were Apple and Amazon, because they started with the letter A. In fact, Apple tablet market share went up to 34.6% from, I don't know. The article I'm ripping off didn't say. You think I'm going to do some research or something? Apple's lower price 10.2-inch iPad with the pen support made up 65% of Apple's shipments. The companies that got hit the worst were Samsung, Huawei, and Lenovo. So I'll tell you why the market for tablets is shrinking. They're boring. I mean, I don't mean that what they do is boring. iOS 13, the tablet version, is pretty amazing. It's just that the physical devices all look the same. What else can you do with them? Make them thinner? It's the same problem smartphones are having. Flat slabs of edge-to-edge glass. Where do you go from there? On the other hand, portables offer a huge variety of shapes and sizes and materials. The tablet market will never go away. There is a clear use case for it, but Apple's vision of a post-computer world was just wrong. This vision is what almost killed off the Macintosh. Who needs a normal boxy computer? Well, I do for one. I love them. I think that's it for RBF today. I was going to talk about the robot Nazi rat and the water-cooled pencil eraser, but I'll leave that for another day. So long, Dennis. What is it, Wancho? Oh, you're waiting for a Lightning to SCSI port adapter. Well, do you have a SCSI? Oh, wow. That's old. I think you might be waiting a very long time for that. Till next time, denizens of the internet, so long.